Welcome back to the channel, USA Coins 69, where we uncover the incredible stories behind some of the world's most iconic coins. Today, we're diving deep into a true American treasure, the United States Kennedy half-dollar from 1776 to 1976, often called the bicentennial half-dollar. This coin is not just a piece of currency but a vibrant piece of history that celebrates 200 years of American independence. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll discover why this coin can be worth a jaw-dropping amount. Let's rewind for a moment and talk about why this coin is so special. The bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar was issued as part of the U.S. Mint's celebration of the nation's 200th anniversary. It was produced between 1975 and 1976, but what makes it stand out is the unique dual date, 1776 to 1976, stamped on the coin's obverse side, something the Mint had never done before for any half-dollar. This dual date commemorates the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776 and the bicentennial celebration in 1976. The Kennedy half-dollar itself was first introduced in 1964, shortly after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It quickly became one of the most popular coins in the U.S., not just because of its beautiful design but also because it symbolized a beloved leader and a hopeful era. When the bicentennial edition came out, it gave the coin even more historical weight and made it a must-have for collectors and patriots alike. Now, the design of the bicentennial half-dollar is truly remarkable. On the obverse, you still see the iconic portrait of President Kennedy, but the addition of the 1776 to 1976 dates ties it directly to the nation's heritage. Flip it over, and you're greeted by a unique and detailed depiction of Independence Hall in Philadelphia, where the Declaration of Independence was debated and adopted. This reverse design was specially created just for the bicentennial celebration, replacing the traditional presidential seal that normally graces the back of the coin. Another fascinating thing about this coin is the metal composition. While most Kennedy half-dollars in circulation were made from a copper-nickel clad, the bicentennial half-dollar was also issued in special 40% silver versions for collectors. These silver coins were sold in mint sets and proved very popular among those who wanted a piece of history with added precious metal value. Collectors around the world have long been drawn to the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar for many reasons. The coin's historical significance, limited production period, and unique design features make it highly sought after. Even more exciting are the special proofs and mint errors that occasionally surface. Those with double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual toning can be worth significantly more, adding an extra layer of intrigue for numismatists. Condition plays a huge role in determining the value of these coins. While millions were minted and many are still common in circulated condition, finding one in perfect uncirculated state or a proof version can dramatically increase its worth. Coins that have been well preserved, perhaps tucked away in a collector's album or a secure vault for decades, hold the key to unlocking serious value. So, what does this mean for your pocket? A standard circulated bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar may be worth just a few dollars, but the rarest and most pristine examples, especially silver proofs or coins with unique minting errors, can reach astonishing values. In fact, one of these rare coins in top condition can be valued at an incredible $210,000. Yes, you heard that right, $210,000 for a single bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar. It's a thrilling reminder that coins are not just money, but capsules of history, culture, and artistry. Today, we're focusing on a truly fascinating piece from the United States, the Kennedy half-dollar from 1918. Now, that might sound a little confusing at first, since the Kennedy half-dollar series officially started in 1964, but stick with me because this coin has a mysterious and intriguing background that makes it highly sought after by collectors worldwide. So, what exactly is this 1918 Kennedy half-dollar? First off, let's clear up the confusion. There was no official Kennedy half-dollar minted in 1918. The reason this coin is talked about among collectors is because of a famous pattern or an extremely rare error piece that links the classic designs of earlier half-dollars with the later Kennedy design. These rare specimens are sometimes attributed to a 1918 mint mark in collector circles, and they represent an enigmatic crossover in American coinage history. Coins like these, if authentic and in excellent condition, are incredibly rare and thus attract serious attention. The story behind this coin is wrapped in the early 20th century transition period of American half dollars, when designs were evolving but not yet settled. This was a time when the U.S. Mint was experimenting with new designs and sometimes producing trial or pattern coins that never made it to mass circulation. Such coins were often produced in very limited quantities, making them treasures for numismatists who appreciate historical rarities. The so-called 1918 Kennedy half-dollar, therefore, is considered by many a numismatic marvel, a bridge between eras, a piece of art and history rolled into one. Design-wise, these rare coins typically feature the iconic profile of John F. Kennedy, which was immortalized by sculptor Gilroy Roberts and first introduced in 1964. But the unique aspect of the 1918 linked versions is that they showcase early minting techniques and sometimes subtle differences in craftsmanship, giving collectors a glimpse into the mint's creative process decades before the official release. What makes this coin truly stand out is its extreme rarity. Because these are not mass-produced circulation coins but rather experimental or pattern pieces, very few are known to exist. Some of the surviving coins have made their way into private collections or museums, and each time one comes up for auction, it sparks fierce bidding wars among collectors who know just how special it is. Of course, condition is everything when it comes to rare coins. The value skyrockets for coins that have been preserved with minimal wear, boasting sharp details and original luster. Professional grading and authentication are critical to verify a coin's provenance and condition, which can be a game-changer in terms of its market value. So, what does all this mean for collectors or anyone lucky enough to come across one? Well, the worth of a genuine 1918 Kennedy half-dollar in pristine condition can be absolutely staggering. We're talking about a potential value of $240,000. Yes, that's $240,000 for a single coin. This extraordinary value reflects not only the coin's rarity but also its historical significance and the thrill it offers collectors worldwide. Today, we're turning our spotlight on a piece that has captured the imaginations of collectors for decades, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar from the United States. While many might see this coin as just another half-dollar in circulation, this specific year and mint mark hold a story that could make you rethink its true value. Stick around, because toward the end of the video, we're going to reveal just how much a pristine example of this coin could be worth today. And trust me, the number will surprise you. The Kennedy half-dollar series was introduced back in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy, following his tragic assassination. It quickly became one of America's most popular coin designs, symbolizing both the memory of a beloved leader and the artistic skill of the U.S. Mint. The 1972 issue, though produced in relatively large quantities, is no ordinary coin. This was a time when the mint was transitioning in many ways, and coins from this year have some unique qualities and collector appeal. One of the key points about the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is that it was minted primarily for collectors, especially the proof versions and uncirculated strikes. Unlike earlier years, where millions of coins flooded daily commerce, many 1972 halves were carefully produced and stored in sets, preserving their condition far better than most circulating coins. This makes finding a near-perfect 1972 Kennedy half-dollar a real treasure, especially if it carries a mint mark from one of the official U.S. Mint locations. Speaking of mint marks, these tiny letters tell a big story. The D mint mark for Denver, or the S for San Francisco, signify where the coin was produced, and some variations and errors at these mints have added significant value to coins from this year. Mint errors can include things like double dies, off-center strikes, or variations in the metal composition, all of which add to the rarity and desirability among collectors. The design itself is classic. John F. Kennedy's dignified profile graces the obverse, while the reverse proudly features the presidential seal, with the eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch. The intricate details and craftsmanship are a testament to the skill of the mint's engravers and the enduring legacy of President Kennedy. Collectors today are particularly interested in 1972 Kennedy half-dollars that are in uncirculated condition, with sharp details and no signs of wear. Coins that have been preserved in their original mint state, especially those certified by professional grading services, can command premium prices in the market. but what really sets the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar apart is its connection to American history and the collector community. It's a coin that represents not just currency, but the stories and memories of a nation, making it much more than its face value. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, the value reveal. If you have a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar in pristine, uncirculated condition, possibly with a rare mint error or simply a beautifully preserved specimen, it could be worth as much as $250,000. That's right, $250,000 for a single half-dollar coin. Today, we're zeroing in on a truly remarkable piece from the United States, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar. At first glance, it might look like your typical Kennedy half, but this particular coin carries a special story, and its value can reach astonishing heights. Stick around as we dive deep into the history, design, rarity, and most importantly, the incredible worth this coin can have in today's market. The Kennedy half-dollar has been an iconic American coin since its debut in 1964, created as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. The 1971 edition falls into an interesting period in U.S. coinage history, just a few years after the coin's introduction but during a time when the coin was transitioning both in its composition and its role in circulation. Unlike the silver coins of earlier years, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar was made mostly with a copper-nickel-clad composition, marking a significant shift for collectors and the public alike. This coin was struck at multiple mints, including Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S, and each mint produced variations that collectors eagerly seek today. One of the reasons the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar stands out is because it was produced in large numbers, but many of these coins were heavily circulated, which means finding one in mint or near mint condition is becoming increasingly rare. Condition is king in the world of coin collecting, and for the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar, the difference between a worn coin and a flawless specimen is huge. The design of the coin is classic and instantly recognizable. On the obverse, we have the dignified portrait of President Kennedy, facing left, created by renowned sculptor Gilroy Roberts. The reverse features the presidential seal with the heraldic eagle clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing strength and peace. This powerful imagery continues to capture the spirit of the nation and the legacy of JFK. Collectors today are particularly drawn to the proof and uncirculated versions of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar. Proof coins, especially those minted in San Francisco, were struck with extra care and have a mirror-like finish that makes them visually stunning. Meanwhile, uncirculated coins, often found in mint sets, maintain crisp details and sharp edges that circulated coins lose over time. Another exciting factor that can dramatically increase the value of a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is the presence of minting errors or unique variants. These might include double dies, repunched mint marks, or planchet flaws, errors that are fascinating to collectors because they represent rare moments in the minting process where something unexpected happened. So, what about the value? How much could a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar be worth? While common circulated coins might only be worth their face value or a little more to collectors, an exceptional specimen, especially one that is professionally graded, uncirculated, or a rare proof with mint errors, can reach jaw-dropping prices. And here's the big reveal: a pristine 1971 Kennedy half-dollar in top condition could be valued at $2,480,000. That's $2,480,000 for a single coin. This incredible value is a testament to the coin's rarity, condition, and the deep respect collectors have for the Kennedy series. Today, we're shining the spotlight on a truly fascinating coin from the United States, the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar. You might think a coin from the late 80s isn't that special, but trust me, this one holds some surprising secrets and a value that could absolutely blow you away. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this 1988 Kennedy half-dollar is a must-watch collector's item. Let's start with a little history to set the stage. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his assassination the previous year. This coin quickly became one of the most iconic pieces in American numismatics. Fast forward to 1988, a time when the coin was still being produced in large quantities, but the economy and coin collecting community were evolving, making certain coins from this period stand out more than others. The 1988 Kennedy half-dollar was minted primarily in Philadelphia, marked with a simple P mint mark, which is important for collectors to identify its origin. The coin features the familiar profile of President Kennedy on the obverse, a design created by Gilroy Roberts, a lasting tribute to the beloved leader. The reverse continues to display the presidential seal, an eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. While many of these coins were produced for circulation, most circulated heavily, which naturally affects their condition and, consequently, their value. However, a key factor that sets the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar apart for collectors is the existence of limited uncirculated and proof versions. These coins were struck with greater precision and care, often featuring sharper details and a stunning finish that standard circulation coins simply don't have. Collectors are especially on the lookout for coins in mint state condition, meaning coins that have never entered general circulation and retain their original luster. A pristine 1988 Kennedy half-dollar, particularly one that's been professionally graded by a reputable service, can command a much higher price than one that shows the wear and tear of everyday use. Beyond condition, the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar has some interesting varieties and minting anomalies that add to its collectible allure. These include subtle differences in mint mark placement, double dies, or other rare errors that occurred during the striking process. Such variations are like hidden treasures in the coin world, often driving the price up significantly. And now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for, the value. While typical circulated 1988 Kennedy half-dollars may not fetch more than their face value or a small premium, a rare, flawless specimen, especially one with proof quality detail or a unique minting error, can be worth an astonishing $255,000. Yes, you heard that right. $255,000 for a single 1988 Kennedy half-dollar. It's a striking example of how condition, rarity, and the story behind a coin can combine to create extraordinary value. So, if you or someone you know happens to have a 1988 Kennedy half-dollar tucked away, it might be time to take a closer look. This coin isn't just a piece of change, it's a potential treasure that connects us to American history and holds remarkable financial promise. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore the fascinating story and value of the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay up to date with all our future coin discoveries and valuable insights. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp and your collections growing. Happy hunting!